Secretary of State Antony Blinken met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This is his 11th trip since the October 7th attack. The big question, can he find the middle ground for a ceasefire as the Biden administration tries to find answers to how the Israel's Iran attack plan was leaked? Our next story has all the details for you.
Amid fierce fighting between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon and the ongoing military escalation in Gaza, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in Israel to revive ceasefire negotiations. The war shows no signs of slowing down, with Israel striking over 230 targets in Lebanon and Gaza, and Hezbollah launching missiles deep into Israeli territory, hitting areas near Haifa and Tel Aviv. As Blinken tries to prevent further escalation, a new crisis complicates his mission: the leak of top-secret Israeli plans to strike Iran. The leaked documents have fueled speculation about who is responsible for the breach, raising 4 possible scenarios. The first theory is that Iranian hackers penetrated U.S. intelligence, leaking the plans to undermine Israel and bolster Tehran's position. The second theory points to a rogue actor within the U.S. government, though investigations suggest that this is unlikely. The third, more controversial theory points that the Biden administration itself leaked the documents to delay Israel's attack, avoiding a larger conflict ahead of U.S. elections. Some suggest that Israel intentionally leaked the plans to mislead Iran, diverting attention from the real timing or location of any potential strike. It has been over 21 days since Iran unleashed 180 missiles at Israel. The country has reiterated the retaliation will be deadly, painful, and surprising for the Islamic Republic of Iran. However, despite the rhetoric, Israel is yet to carry out its promised retaliation. Experts have repeatedly pointed out at Tehran's warning of not taking any Israeli action lightly and hitting back with full might. US has also been beefing up its presence in the region. The US military has deployed its advanced anti-missile system THAAD, which further bolsters Israel's already formidable anti-missile defenses. The Biden administration has been urging Israel to calibrate its response to avoid triggering a broader war in the region. The big question now is what targets will Israel choose to attack in Iran as it intensifies its battle in Gaza and Lebanon.
We are now being joined by Scott Lucas, a professor of international politics, Clinton Institute, University College Dublin. He is joining us live from Birmingham, UK. Thank you so much for joining us on WION. Many are asking, Antony Blinken is taking his 11th trip to the Middle East region, and whether or not there should be cautious optimism. In your opinion, do you think something will come of this meeting, and not just with Prime Minister Netanyahu, but also leaders of Jordan and Qatar as he tries to push for some sort of ceasefire?
You need to ask Benjamin Netanyahu that. Antony Blinken has to make the appearance of doing something to pursue the notion of a ceasefire. He needs to do it not only because of the ongoing mass killing in Gaza, where we continue to see 60, 70, 80 people a day being killed as the death toll nears 43,000. He needs to do it also because of the expansion of the war into Lebanon. And he needs to do it because of the possibility, although I think it is a remote possibility, of a direct Israel-Iran confrontation. But the fact here is that it is Benjamin Netanyahu who could make the decision to pull back on these open-ended wars. It's Netanyahu who has pursued the open-ended war with Gaza, even though his own military, his own political members of the war cabinet have told him there is no end game there. And it's Netanyahu, because he was in trouble over the failure to get hostages back from Gaza, who led the expansion of the war into Lebanon, including the killing of the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. The American line is Nasrallah is dead, the Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar is dead, you can declare victory. But the problem for Netanyahu is he can't declare victory because Hamas still has those 100 hostages dead or alive. And as long as those hostages are being held by Hamas, a significant portion of the Israeli population will blame that on Netanyahu. So he has to keep the war going.
And Blinken's visit also comes exactly 2 weeks ahead of U.S. elections and just 2 days after the leak of the alleged Israeli plan to attack Iran. What could be the tone and tenure during the Blinken-Netanyahu meeting?
Well, I mean, you're going to have the posturing for the cameras, and the fact is that Netanyahu has continued to push back on any American pressure to limit the operations, but he'll welcome Blinken. Blinken, of course, and the Biden administration have pressed for the idea of a ceasefire, but of course they won't cut military aid to Israel. They won't call for an unconditional ceasefire. So this is just simply mood music ahead of those elections in the United States. I think what is more serious here is this question about this U.S. document that was leaked. I think you did a very good job of reviewing the possibilities here. But my own reading of that document, although it is speculative, is that the Americans did leak this document, that they leaked it both to warn Iran, look, Israel could hit you at any time, so don't attack the Israelis, but also to tell the Israelis, look, we know what you're doing, we know what you're preparing for, we don't want you to carry out an all-out strike on Iran.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Professor Lucas, I appreciate your company. Thank you so much for joining us on WION.
Thanks to you and your viewers.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.